Today, I want you to step into a truth so profound that it transforms the way you perceive every challenge, every struggle, every moment of hardship. There is a force far greater than you, call it God, the universe, consciousness, that is actively working on your behalf. This battle you feel you are fighting alone. It is not yours to carry. Most people live their lives trapped in the illusion that they must wrestle through every obstacle with sheer willpower and relentless effort. But what if I told you that the energy of resistance you pour into these battles actually blocks the very outcome you desire? What if surrendering to this higher power isn't a sign of weakness, but the ultimate act of strength? When you surrender, when you stop engaging in the battle with fear, doubt, or despair, you allow the intelligence of the universe to move through you. You open a gateway for miraculous possibilities. The unseen forces that govern reality begin to align on your behalf, not because you begged or fought harder, but because you chose to believe that something infinitely greater than your individual self is fighting with you. Imagine the battlefield within you, not as a place of conflict, but as a doorway to transformation. When your mind is calm, your heart is open, and your spirit is aligned, you step out of the chaos of struggle and into the flow of creation. At that moment, the fight dissolves. You become a co-creator, no longer battling, but receiving. This isn't about passivity or giving up. It's about shifting your energy from resistance to alignment. It's about recognizing that the challenges you face are not obstacles blocking your path, but signposts directing you to a deeper connection with your true self and the divine power that supports you. In the stillness of faith, your biology changes, your brain rewires, your body begins to heal. You move from a state of survival to a state of thriving. That's the magic of understanding God is fighting for you. The battle, the tension, the weight you feel, it's not yours to bear alone. So today, release the illusion of control. Let go of the need to fight every battle with your own strength. Trust in the unseen. Trust in the divine orchestration that is moving everything for your highest good. You are not alone. You never were. The fight has already been won. Your job is simply to stand in the knowing, to embody peace, and to allow the transformation to unfold from within. Because when God fights for you, the impossible becomes inevitable. You are not alone in your battles. A higher power is fighting for you. This is a profound truth that can completely shift the way you experience struggle and hardship. Often, when life feels overwhelming, we fall into the trap of thinking that we must face everything on our own, that every obstacle, every challenge is a personal fight we have to win by sheer will and determination. But this mindset keeps us locked in a cycle of exhaustion and resistance. When we accept that there is a greater force working alongside us, it changes everything. This higher power, whether you call it God, the universe, or divine intelligence, is not distant or detached. It is intimately involved in your life, orchestrating events and possibilities beyond what your mind can conceive. You are not fighting alone. The energy of this higher power is actively supporting you, moving in unseen ways to clear paths, open doors, and create solutions. Sometimes, this support shows up as sudden insight, unexpected help from others, or a shift in circumstances that seems like a miracle. Recognizing this presence invites a profound sense of relief and trust, allowing you to release the exhausting burden of carrying every battle by yourself. When you tune into this truth, your perspective shifts from isolation and struggle to connection and co-creation. You begin to see that your efforts, while important, are part of a larger dance with the universe. This realization empowers you to step out of fear and resistance, and instead move forward with faith that you are supported at every step. It also opens you to receive help that you may have been blind to before, whether from people, opportunities, or internal guidance. Embracing the idea that a higher power fights for you transforms your entire experience of challenge. Resistance and struggle often block the outcomes you desire. When faced with difficulties, it's natural to push back, to fight against what feels wrong or unfair. Yet, this very resistance creates a form of energy that keeps you stuck in the same patterns. The more you battle against a situation, the more you reinforce its hold over you. This happens because your mind and body respond to resistance with tension, stress, and contraction, which narrow your perception and limit your ability to see new possibilities. When you are caught in this state, your brain is often flooded with fear-based chemicals, which further cloud your judgment and keep you locked in reactive behavior. This cycle of struggle becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead of moving forward, you remain trapped in the same emotional and mental loops. What's needed is a shift away from resistance toward acceptance, not resignation, but a conscious acknowledgement of where you are. This allows you to move beyond the fight and create space for new energies and solutions to emerge. When you stop pushing against the current, you begin to flow with it, tapping into the deeper intelligence of the universe or your own higher self. This flow is where real transformation happens. Instead of exhausting yourself trying to control every outcome, you align with the natural rhythms of change. This alignment creates the conditions for healing and growth, because it opens channels that resistance blocks. In this state, you can access clarity, creativity, and resilience that were previously hidden beneath the struggle. You begin to see that struggle is not the path to success, but surrender and alignment are. Resistance may feel like strength, but it actually limits your potential and delays the manifestation of your desires. By releasing struggle and embracing a state of openness, you invite the very outcomes you seek to unfold more easily and naturally. Surrender is a powerful act of strength, not weakness. In a culture that often glorifies pushing harder and never giving up, surrender can be misunderstood as giving in or losing control. But true surrender is far from weakness. It is an intentional choice to release the need to control every aspect of a situation and to trust in a greater intelligence beyond your limited perspective. When you surrender, you acknowledge that there are forces at work that you cannot see or fully understand, and you open yourself to receiving guidance and support from those forces. This requires courage, because it means stepping into the unknown without the guarantee of immediate results. Surrender is not about passivity or resignation. It is about conscious acceptance and allowing life to unfold in its own time and way. It takes strength to stop resisting what is and to let go of the struggle that drains your energy. Surrender creates a powerful shift in your internal state, from tension and resistance to calm and openness. This shift changes how your brain and body function. When you surrender, your nervous system relaxes, your heart opens, and your mind becomes clear. In this state, you are more connected to your intuition and the deeper wisdom within you. You become receptive to opportunities and solutions that were invisible when you were caught in resistance. Surrender also allows you to conserve energy, focusing it on what truly matters rather than expending it in futile battles. This is where real transformation begins, because surrender creates space for new possibilities to emerge and for healing to take place. It is a demonstration of faith in the process of life and in the power that supports you. Choosing surrender is an act of empowerment, a conscious decision to align with the flow of the universe rather than fighting against it. Letting go opens the door for divine intelligence to work through you. When you hold tightly to control, outcomes, or specific expectations, you create barriers between yourself and the natural flow of life. This grip of control often comes from fear of uncertainty, failure, or loss, and it narrows your ability to see beyond the immediate moment. But when you release that grip, even just a little, you create a powerful space where something greater can move. Divine intelligence, or the higher consciousness that governs the universe, operates through flow and openness rather than force and resistance. By letting go, you are not giving up your power. Instead, you are stepping into a more expansive form of power that comes from alignment with universal wisdom. This act of releasing is an invitation for that wisdom to enter your experience and guide your steps in ways you couldn't have planned or imagined. It's like opening a window in a closed room. The fresh air and light come rushing in, shifting the entire atmosphere. The process of letting go requires trust, Trust that you do not need to have every answer, that you don't need to control every detail, and that the outcomes will unfold in their own perfect timing. When you surrender control, you free yourself from the exhausting struggle of trying to force things to happen. Instead, you become a channel through which divine intelligence can express itself. This can show up as sudden insights, unexpected opportunities, or a deep inner knowing that guides your decisions. In this space, miracles become possible because you are no longer limited by your own narrow view of what is possible. You become a co-creator with the universe, aligned with a flow that supports your highest good. This openness invites transformation and allows the unseen forces to work on your behalf, often in ways that surprise and delight you. Challenges are opportunities for deeper connection and transformation. When life presents obstacles, it's natural to feel resistance or frustration, but these moments hold a hidden potential that often goes unnoticed. Each challenge is an invitation to pause, reflect, and shift your perspective. Instead of seeing difficulties as mere roadblocks, you can view them as signposts pointing toward growth and awakening. In every challenge, there is a chance to connect more deeply with yourself, your true essence beyond the roles, fears, and stories you tell. This connection opens the door to transformation because it requires you to step out of habitual patterns and conditioned responses. When you engage with challenges consciously, you begin to understand the lessons they offer, not just on a mental level, but in your body, emotions, and spirit. This holistic understanding creates a powerful shift inside you. Transformation happens when you choose to move through difficulties with awareness, rather than trying to avoid or suppress them. It requires vulnerability and courage, because growth often asks you to face what feels uncomfortable or unknown. Yet, by leaning into the discomfort instead of resisting it, you activate a deeper intelligence within. This intelligence is connected to the divine source that supports you, offering guidance, resilience, and creativity. Challenges also connect you more deeply to others, reminding you that you are part of a larger whole. Through shared struggles, empathy and compassion arise, strengthening your relationships and sense of belonging. When you reframe challenges as opportunities, you move from a mindset of victimhood to one of empowerment. You recognize that every difficulty carries the seed of a new possibility, a new way of being. This shift invites healing and renewal, transforming not only your external circumstances but your inner world as well. Aligning mind, heart, and spirit dissolves internal conflict. Often, the battles we face aren't just external, they are fought within ourselves. When our thoughts, emotions, and deeper sense of purpose are out of sync, we create tension that manifests as stress, confusion, and resistance. The mind might be focused on logic and control, while the heart longs for connection and compassion, and the spirit seeks meaning and alignment with something greater. This disconnection fragments your energy and weakens your ability to move forward with clarity and confidence. However, when you consciously bring these parts of yourself into harmony, something remarkable happens. Your internal conflicts begin to dissolve because your entire being is working together rather than pulling in different directions. This alignment creates coherence in your nervous system, balancing your emotional and mental states. The brain waves slow down, the heart rhythm becomes more steady, and your body relaxes. In this state, you experience a sense of peace and centeredness that allows you to respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom and calm. Aligning mind, heart, and spirit also enhances your intuition, the inner guidance that often speaks quietly beneath the noise of everyday thoughts and emotions. When these parts are in sync, your intuition becomes clearer and more trustworthy, leading you to make decisions that resonate deeply with your true self. This harmony strengthens your resilience because you are no longer caught in internal battles, but are unified in purpose and energy. You become a coherent whole, capable of attracting and manifesting what you truly desire. When your mind, heart, and spirit are aligned, you are not just surviving. You are thriving with a powerful sense of wholeness and presence that transforms your experience of life. Shifting from resistance to alignment changes your biology and mindset in profound ways. When you resist life's circumstances, your body responds by activating the stress response, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline that prepare you for fight or flight. While this reaction can be helpful in short bursts, chronic resistance keeps your nervous system in a heightened state of alert, which over time undermines your health, clarity, and emotional balance. Your brain becomes wired to focus on threats and obstacles, narrowing your perception and limiting your ability to see new possibilities. This creates a feedback loop where resistance breeds more tension and struggle, reinforcing patterns that keep you stuck. In contrast, alignment opens the door to a different biological state, one of relaxation, coherence, and openness. When your mind, emotions, and energy align with your intentions and the natural flow of life, your nervous system shifts into a parasympathetic state, often called the rest and digest mode. In this state, your heart rate slows, breathing deepens, and your brain produces calming neurotransmitters and hormones like serotonin and oxytocin. This physiological shift supports healing, creativity, and resilience. The brain's neural networks rewire to support positive thought patterns, emotional regulation, and intuitive insight. Your mindset becomes more flexible, adaptive, and focused on solutions rather than problems. This alignment between your inner experience and outer intentions creates a powerful magnetism that draws opportunities and resources to you. It also allows you to respond to challenges with greater calm and clarity, rather than reactive resistance. As your biology and mindset shift into alignment, you tap into a deeper intelligence within yourself and the universe, allowing transformation to happen naturally and with less effort. This is the science behind why surrendering resistance is not giving up, but stepping into a higher level of power and flow. Trust in the unseen orchestration of the universe for your highest good is a fundamental principle that can profoundly change how you navigate life's uncertainties. Often, when faced with challenges or delays, it's easy to feel lost or frustrated because the outcome we desire is not immediately visible. Yet, there is a vast intelligence at work beyond what our senses can perceive, a complex web of connections and timing that guides everything toward balance and harmony. This unseen orchestration is like a master conductor leading a symphony, where each note and instrument plays its part perfectly, even if we cannot hear or understand it from our limited viewpoint. Trusting in this process requires a shift in mindset, moving away from the need to control every detail and instead embracing faith that what is happening is part of a larger plan designed for your growth and highest good. This trust does not mean passive waiting or complacency. It means active surrender, where you engage fully in your path while allowing the universe to handle the timing and the unfolding. When you trust the unseen, you release the anxiety and resistance that come from trying to force outcomes or rush the process. This opens you to receive guidance, opportunities, and support that might otherwise go unnoticed. It also strengthens your resilience because you know that even setbacks or detours are temporary and meaningful parts of your journey. As you deepen your trust, you begin to recognize synchronicities and patterns that confirm you are on the right path. You develop a deeper connection with your intuition and inner wisdom, which often serves as the direct channel for this universal intelligence. Trusting in the unseen orchestration aligns you with the natural flow of life and empowers you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are always supported. The battle has already been won. Your role is to embody peace. This concept challenges the common perception that life's struggles require constant fighting and striving to overcome. Instead, it invites you to see that the ultimate victory is not about external conquest, but an internal state of being. When you realize the battle is already won, it means you can stop exhausting yourself in resistance and struggle. The external conflicts, challenges, and fears you face are reflections of inner tensions that can be released through conscious awareness. Embodying peace is a powerful choice that shifts your energy from turmoil to calm, from fear to trust. This peace is not a passive or naive state. It is an active and courageous presence that stands firm in the face of adversity. It means cultivating a deep sense of confidence and surrender simultaneously. Confidence in your inner strength and surrender to the flow of life beyond your control. When you embody peace, your whole being resonates at a frequency that attracts harmony and resolution. Your nervous system calms, your heart opens, and your mind becomes clear, creating the ideal environment for healing and transformation. This state of peace allows you to respond rather than react, to make decisions rooted in clarity instead of anxiety. It also impacts the people and situations around you, often shifting dynamics simply through your presence. By embodying peace, you step into a role of leadership, not by force, but by example, demonstrating that true power comes from inner alignment and trust. This understanding transforms how you approach challenges because you no longer see them as battles to be won with effort, but as experiences to be met with grace. The battle being already won is an invitation to rest in the knowing that your essence is whole and invincible, and that peace is your natural state. With divine support, the impossible becomes inevitable. When you align yourself with a power greater than your individual will, you tap into a source of unlimited potential that transcends ordinary limitations. This divine support doesn't mean that challenges vanish overnight or that life becomes effortlessly easy. Rather, it means that no matter how insurmountable a problem may appear, there is a force working behind the scenes, orchestrating solutions and guiding you toward outcomes that may have once seemed unreachable. When you open yourself to this support, you begin to operate from a different level of consciousness, one that sees beyond the immediate circumstances and recognizes the hidden possibilities woven into every situation. This shift expands your capacity for creativity, resilience, and faith. The impossible starts to break down because your energy is no longer fragmented by fear, doubt, or resistance. Instead, you move with confidence and trust, knowing that you are part of a larger design. Miracles and breakthroughs often occur when you least expect them, triggered by a readiness within you to receive and act in alignment with this divine force. This process requires surrender, humility, and openness, but it also requires your active participation. Divine support works in partnership with your intentions, actions, and willingness to grow. When you cultivate this relationship, you become a co-creator of your reality rather than a passive observer. The impossible becomes inevitable because you are no longer limited by your own doubts or fears, but empowered by the infinite possibilities that arise when you collaborate with the divine. This dynamic transforms not only your external world, but also your inner landscape, fostering a deep sense of peace and purpose. It allows you to face any challenge with the assurance that you are never truly alone, and that what once seemed impossible is simply the next step in your unfolding journey.